Now, a lot of what I do in my content and my work is heavily around sticking to and breaking various habits of whatnot. And I was just, because I have struggles, like it's not all easy street for me. And I find that there's why do I have trouble with breaking some habits and not others? And sticking to certain habits, reading and meditating and all that stuff. And, you see online that, it's just lazy and, undisciplined or whatever. But I don't really think that's the case. I think, if you read the title, you kind of know what I'm alluding to, but I think it's more to do with a lack of accountability. Now, when you think, let's just say you're trying to stick to a habit of, eating clean, not eating junk food. If you are the only one, sorry, got hay fever, it's like fucking with me. If you are trying to stick to a clean eating diet and laying off the junk food and sugar and whatnot, but you're the only one, say in your household, in your friend group, that does that is doing that, it can be really hard to stay on track because everyone around you they may not be trying to eat a lot of junk food, but they will have it, and they will occasionally eat some rubbish. And that's like me. Like, I find that my family is not unhealthy by any means of the word. We're all very active and relatively healthy, but I'm trying to take my health to the next level. And in order to do that, I've been really trying to cut back on carbs and sugars and unhealthy food in general. And it's definitely not easy when you've got ice cream and chips and lollies and biscuits and all that stuff just in the cupboard, and there's no one there to stop you, to hold you accountable. It's literally just you and your mind. And some people might say that's a discipline thing, but when you have no reason to, like for me, like I'm 19 and I'm in the best physical shape of my life, and my metabolism's high, and I can really eat what I want with very little repercussions. Like, there's really no incentive for me, or very little incentive. What the fuck? Anyways, there's very little incentive for me to go out and just completely cut it out. Completely. That makes sense. To cut it out all entirely. And so yeah, I've been slowly getting more and more consistent, but when there's no one to, check in on you and no one to say, quote unquote, compete with, I find that it's super difficult to consistently find a reason. And I spoke about, finding a reason why a couple of months ago. But if you don't have that driving factor, that reason to keep you accountable, to keep you on track, to remind you why you're doing this, my dog, it can be really difficult to stay motivated and to stay on track. So before you go out and just shit on yourself by saying you're lazy and you're undisciplined and you should be doing it no matter what, yes, there is an element to that, and yes, there is, you should be doing stuff even when you don't feel like it and when it's hard and whatnot. But if you don't have a reason why, you will never actually stick to anything. You'll always just resort to whatever's comfortable, whatever's easy, regardless of how hard you try and whatever the circumstances may be. But you need to find that driving factor. That's why people like Hamza preach moving out and finding an environment of brothers who are on the same path, because that is what keeps you accountable. It is what keeps you wanting to get better and staying on track, because if you let your boys down, then you're going to know about it. They're going to let you know about it. That's what good mates do. And same thing, if one of your boys falls down in some area or whatever, or doesn't stick to a habit, you're going to let them know about it. You're going to be, hey bro, the fuck are you doing? Get your shit together, dog. And that's healthy. But without that, it is so difficult to stay on task and to turn up every day and to do the things that you know you should be doing, because there's no reason to. I sit there and think, why the fuck am I doing all of this? And I've got to actually conjure up a story, whether that's how you want to say it, or a reason why. Because no, I don't have a family to provide for. No, I'm not fucking homeless. Like, I've got an objectively good life outside of wanting to be rich and successful and the best I can possibly be. Now, it's not easy. Of course it's not easy. It's never going to be easy. But even the times when I've had girlfriends throughout this journey, it kind of makes it a little bit easier, because not that you've got someone depending on you yet. Like, I'm not nearly at the point where someone can depend on me. But if you tell your partner, I'm going to be rich and I'm going to be successful and I'm going to make this work, and you don't, well then what the fuck kind of partner are you? Like, you have a reason. Like, she be believing in you, and that's all the more reason to believe in yourself. And so if you haven't got a reason to stay accountable, or you got a lack of accountability, that if you focus on finding a reason to be accountable, whether through your mates, through your family, through a partner, whatever it may be, I think it's incredibly underappreciated how having an outside factor keep you accountable rather than just you. Because your mind, I know my mind does, it justifies all kinds of breaks in the habits. Oh, it's just one chocolate. Oh, it doesn't matter. I've been good recently. And it's all this, having an outside source to enforce these good habits is probably just as powerful as the habits themselves. Now, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. We get some more of this amazing weather. If you're still here at the end of the video, I love you. And remember, life is what you make it.